Hello everyone and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3. We are playing as Germany, the great and powerful, with our little ally Poland over here fighting against nationalist Spain in our random Hearts of Iron mod. We just beat Alaska, ground them into a pulp really. A series of encirclements led them to not have enough of an army to cover their front. Funnily enough, they actually declared that war. Now they were the head of the Communist International, but regardless, they still completely surrendered to us because it was a limited war. It wasn't a faction-on-faction war. It wasn't the whole of the Communist International against the whole of the Allies. It was just one little member of the Communist International against all of the Allies, which is a little bit of a silly thing, in my opinion, for them to have done. Regardless, we have expanded as far to the south as we possibly can. We even have a bunch of non-core territory that we are going to have a little bit of problem holding on to. We get one base revolt risk in each province that is not our core, and 3 base revolt risk in provinces that we conquered that aren't our core for the nationalism penalty. Now, the nationalism will tick down, but the non-core will never go away. Unlike other Paradox games, there simply isn't a way for you to make a province that you have captured during war considered to be legally part of your nation. All of that is, empire building, and really what we're doing is empire management and conquest. We do need to help Poland at this point. Taking a look at our diplomatic map mode, the entirety of Europe, it seems, is dead set against us. We have a few bases in Cornwall and a little bit in Ireland and a little base in the north of Spain, but the rest of Europe is pretty pissed off at us right now. Actually, we had talked about declaring war on Galicia over here to get down to and help Poland, and that might be an option for us. We do have a significant amount of cores on Galicia, or we could do that to Nigeria and just sort of blitz through and hit them from the north. But as of this moment, I think what would be in our best interests is to use this port, this ever important port that we captured down here. It's not even that well built up of a port, but we use that as a base of operations for our Navy. We can actually start supplying our Navy now. Unfortunately, we only have destroyers and submarines here, but we can use our transports to move troops over here and help the Poles, basically give them expeditionary forces and integrate them into the Polish army. So I'm thinking we're going to do that. We're going to take 4 random infantry divisions, preferably ones that are relatively high strength already, and we're going to redeploy them over there to keep this organized. And because it's a lot easier, we're going to create a new army and call it the Expeditionary Army. What weird world are we in that the Germans are going out of their way to help the Poles in World War II? Well, hey, it's the random world mod, that's for sure. So we're going to take 3 of our infantry divisions, you're relatively healthy, and attach them, to the Expeditionary Army, and move the entire Expeditionary Army into the Port Province, which is apparently Taganrog, over here by Rostov. And then the rest of the armies, the Second Army, which is now incredibly depleted, can move up this general direction, and the First Army, which is also rather depleted, can move. Let's have you chill over here on the other side of our capital. We had been working on the Third Army. We're going to need to just churn out a whole bunch more infantry. I mean, that's basically what we're going to need to do. We already have 2 more corps of infantry being built, but once again, I think it is in our best interests to make some more infantry with anti-tank weaponry. And we're not going to build them as reserves because I think we're going to be at war for the foreseeable future. Like, there really doesn't necessarily seem to be an end to the war. It's not like there's going to be sometime in the next 5 years or so when we're just plain not going to need a whole bunch of infantry. We're doing very well on manpower, and we gain a whole bunch of manpower every month. We can sustain some pretty heavy losses here, and all of this core territory down here is just going to act like it was always our land. It was never taken from us. I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. So we need one more infantry division to flesh out the First Army, and 2 more infantry divisions to flesh out the Second Army before we can move on to the to fleshing out the Third Army. So the Third Army is going to be our understrength army. Probably just use it to defend this this border, like we have been previously. Once we are finished shuttling troops to and from, we are going to be taking our Ranger Corps and moving them into position to maybe start taking over some of these bases out here that belong to our enemies, like Cyprus down here belongs to nationalist Spain. Oh, it looks like Poland is way ahead of us on that front. Yeah, very nice job, Poland. But mainly we want to take our Greek colony back. I think I got a little bit attached to that. Hopefully a landing here will be more than possible. So yeah, that's the plan at this point. Help Poland out, help our little ally out, and then we'll go from there. We are in a good position. We don't need to worry about being completely destroyed, but the more they focus on Poland, the weaker they'll be. And the easier it will come, the easier it will be for us to attack them. Once we do decide exactly how we're going to get through either Galicia or Nigeria, or maybe even both of them. Maybe we'll just eat both of them up and see where it goes from there. Well, this is awkward. The Netherlands captured our little resupply base over here in Cornwall. And the Romanian friendly division is all the way over here in Bristol. Not doing much of anything. Is this a port up here? It is a port. Alright, I guess we'll move up here. Maybe we'll be able to get some supplies from up there. Because we do want to keep this navy alive. I mean, if for nothing else than to be a thorn in their side, even though we can't combine it with our escort carriers. Which kind of sucks, to be entirely honest. Not a huge fan of our naval situation. Alright, I'm going to go through the expeditionary army and give them all of the crappiest generals that we possibly can. I mean, I know it sounds pretty horrible, but if we're going to be doing any attacking of our own, we really need to make sure that our own front is secure, because we're giving them 3 corps. I mean, this is 150,000 men that we're just giving up. Now we're keeping 573,000 for ourselves, but this does represent a rather significant chunk of our army, not to mention the 50,000 special forces that we are going to be deploying to far-flung corners of the Mediterranean down here. So we do need to make sure that our men are as well led as possible. And really these are just going to be bonus men for the Poles. I mean, they seem to be doing fairly well for themselves. They still haven't pushed the nationalists back yet, but I think with the addition of another 150,000, they'll be more than able to do so. So I'm just going to go through and make sure that all of the generals that we're sending them are ones that we can afford to be without. Alright, that does mean that every single one of these units now has about half organization, but that's okay because they aren't going to be in combat immediately anyway. So we'll just split these transports off. Each transport can only carry 40 weight. I don't know what weight really means, but each infantry unit here weighs 10. So it'll take a few loads to get everybody across, but it won't be that tedious or big of a deal. So we'll, I guess, load the HQ divisions up first. Oh, each infantry unit weighs 35, so it will take quite a few loads to get over there. But luckily enough, they have a port right here. So we'll transport them over there, shuttle people back and forth, and then we'll give them to Poland for Poland to do with what they will. Alright, we don't have all of the infantry we need queued up yet, but I do think it's about time to start upgrading our, at least our cavalry divisions to motorized, and possibly, if we have the industrial capacity left over, our light armor to armor. The problem with this is that our armor units aren't that upgraded, especially compared to our light armor. You see, all of our light tank upgrades are at 1940 level tech, and we're at 1938 right now, but we haven't researched at all into our medium tanks, so it's very likely that this would be a downgrade. Alright, let's actually go check. Alright, so they have just about the same stats in terms of attack and defense, except right here, where the light armor is actually better at attacking infantry than the medium armor is. Now, the medium armor does have the advantage in the softness category, but it's also much slower, much more expensive. It doesn't actually take that much longer to build. Yeah, we have good armor practical right now, probably because of the amount of tank destroyers that we've been building. So I'm going to hold off on upgrading our light armor to medium armor, at least until we get better upgrades for our medium tanks. But I do think that the step from cavalry to motorized is very well worth it. I mean, just look at these outrageous stats. We've got 1 and 1. Alright, it's the same. 3 and 3. Alright, it's the same. Up here, now, all of a sudden, we have heart attack for the motorized. We have piercing attack for the motorized. Double the piercing attack. We've got significantly better defensiveness in both categories. And there is a chance that an enemy attacking them will use their heart attack modifier, which is usually much lower, rather than their soft attack modifier, which is usually much higher. So motorized infantry are just generally better against other infantry units than cavalry. Now that does mean that we're going to need to start spending fuel on these things, and they're considerably more expensive. But as we've discussed previously, we're not researching cavalry tech. We are researching infantry tech, and motorized infantry use the infantry tech rather than the cavalry tech. So I do think that this is a good decision. We're going to use the upgrade tool and upgrade both of these cavalry divisions to motorized divisions, and as we get more industrial capacity, we'll continue doing that, and we'll do that for both of our light armor divisions. Make them just a little bit tougher, a little bit stronger, and that will stop slowing the light tanks down nearly as much. Now the limiting factor will be the tank destroyers rather than the actual infantry brigades. Well, we got into a battle, and I completely missed it. Sorry about that. We lost a ship. It was a heavy cruiser. It was our only heavy cruiser, and we're not planning on building any more heavy cruisers. That does mean that we are still in the running. We just need to give our ships some time to repair and get their organization back up. We do still have our battleship, which is nice. But other than that, I mean, I'm really not too worried about losing that. I really just want them to do as much damage as possible. It's looking increasingly like this little area over here that we've been living in is not going to be able to survive all of that nonsense that they're throwing at us. So we'll see. Oh, they're trying to attack across the strait again. Well, good luck. We have a... oh, they're bombarding us from the shore. That's going to be a little bit of a pain. But they are attacking with a negative 70% penalty. Oh boy. Because they're crossing across the strait. Alright, Noble Raven, this is your opportunity to shine. Ooh, that is a big naval landing there. Poland, you are going to need some help. Alright, well these guys, now, we need to move them south. This is going to be a problem. Okay, Poland, you do your thing. We'll do our best to respond to this, I suppose. Just get everyone down there. We're fighting Poland's war for it. It's gonna be interesting. This isn't that big of a port. I mean, they will not be able to supply all of these men that they dropped for very long with just that small little port there. We need him to hold here for as long as possible. I'd prefer to not lose him, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if he did get surrounded. I mean, he's going to get surrounded. That's really it's what's going to happen. You know, there's not really that much we can do about it from where we are. Yeah, these guys are going to take a beating. Poland is rushing their garrison troops down, which is always good. Yeah, keep researching that. It's necessary. It's really just going to be a delaying tactic. If we can keep them from capturing another port, that would be preferable. The nearest other port is up here. This is a big, well upgraded port though, and there's another small one up here. So it's going to be they'll be able to supply a lot of troops with this port and this port. So the sooner we can shut this down, the better, I think. Got 7 units here. How's the terrain looking? Ooh, it's all mountains. It'll be nice and easy to contain them in here. Okay, we need to get over here with 2. Over here with 2. They're probably... I mean, let's reinforce the Polish. They're just garrison divisions as soon as possible. These are just the core commands. Oh, the order of battle over here is going to be so messy. Yet again, we're rushing to defend a previously undefended flank. Hopefully Poland can hold up here without taking too many losses. And I hope they don't overreact to this and pull a whole bunch of men off their line. Yeah, these guys are dead. These guys need to pull back. No, keep researching battleship tech. That's good. You need to pull back. We did well there. We held out against a force just about 6 times our size. But these are infantry units only, unsupported by anyone else. And that does mean that they'll be able to link up their lines. Well, this just got more interesting, I think. Getting here first would be nice. There's a 2-level fort in this province and its mountains. Alright, there we go. Build those lines up. Alright, we've got men we can deploy here. Got a nice strong front. You're headed down there. I don't think we'll be able to get to Amivsa in time. So this is going to be our... Oh, we need to bolster up down here, I think. 2. Holding them behind the river is nice. It'll be tough for them to break out of this. Yeah, once again, I don't think we'll actually be able to get to Amivsa first. What'd be really good is if we could take that colony from them right now. Unfortunately, we really don't have the capacity to protect our transports. So I really don't want to load up some of our rangers completely undefended. I mean, do we have any air bases near here? No. Jeez. Ours was the closest air base. Alright, so we have no options in terms of defending our transports for a naval landing. We have a bunch of destroyers, but they're really not going to stand up to a battle fleet. Luckily, it looks like Poland isn't pulling too many troops down in this direction to help defend against this. And it really looks like they're doing very well up north. I mean, huge stretches of the nationalists' land is undefended. I think they'll be able to take this back fairly easily. And in the meantime, Poland is down here, kicking Bulgaria from the bottom, invading from the boot. Go Poland! Proactive little bugger there. Of course, Bulgaria sort of counter-raided. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can get into Amivsa before they can. Because just looking at this, this is going to be the weak point right here. We can take this province back relatively simply. Invading into Patra right here is going to be a little bit of a pain because of that strait crossing, but if we can beat them here, maybe even force them to retreat north, I think that'd be preferable. Yeah, and it looks like we didn't actually beat them into that province, but we didn't let them dig in either. And unfortunately, once again, we are fighting with 0 skill leaders. I mean, this will be some excellent fighting experience for our men too, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, we pushed them out of that province. They weren't willing to fight that hard for it. We've boxed them in. This isn't a danger to Poland anymore. Now we need to work on starting to reduce this, and that might be a problem, because the same territory that let us defend so well, I mean, they haven't even tried to attack and break out of this little net we've caught them in yet. I think part of that is because they are unable to really supply anybody with those two naval sites. They did just land a whole bunch more troops there. I think supplies are becoming an issue for them. We'll use our submarines to try to harass their supply lines a little bit more. Boy, I thought that the Poles were in trouble over here. Oh. Where's New Zealand? New Zealand is nowhere near here. It's not even near us. Who cares? I mean, good on you, New Zealand, making yourself... Oh, they're all the bloody way up here? Yet another person to defend our coast from. Good. Wonderful. Okay, so where's our Navy now? Our Navy redeployed down here. Just a game of cat and mouse up in this general area. The Romanians did take London, but this unit is going to run out of supplies sooner rather than later unless it can take a port. Nearest port's up here. They might be able to get up in that general direction. Alright, sinking the enemy transports is always a good thing. I think we need to test the waters here. We outnumber them in this province. Oh, that's simple. We outnumber them so badly in this province. They do have some fairly well-skilled men, but really Marines are not meant for holding the line like that. Yeah, we just killed 5 of their Special Forces troops. 500, excuse me, of their Special Forces troops. And it's looking like Poland is having difficulty supplying us in this region. Interesting. Well, let's attack from up here. This is into the mountains, but we can have a pretty wide front. Yeah. Probably going to be a pretty hard fight. Yeah, but they only have a Marine division defending it. And now they're counterattacking us. But all of these Polish garrisons should be able to help us keep this province fairly well. Why did you stack all of your garrisons on one province, Poland? Do not understand. One thing that we didn't send over here is anti-tank. So it's likely some of these light armor units are going to pose a little bit of a problem for us. But it could be that we're just going to smash right on through. How are you doing? You're at about half organization. Alright, we're going to keep the southern half a little bit static for the time being, I think. Thanks for watching the video, everyone. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe if you so feel the desire to. If not, don't worry about it. I'm always welcoming to constructive criticism. Go ahead and leave it in the comments, or go ahead and send me a private message. Either way, I hope you'll join me for the next video. Thanks much, and I'll see you all next time.